Really quiet with your contact. Quiet is not maybe the best word. Feel with your contact. Feel his mouth. Good rider has the ability to feel the horse, to actually feel the horse's mouth, stay in the circle, through the rein and through the bits. You should, in your mind's eye, be able to extend your arm all the way through the rein, put your fingers on the bits, and feel what's happening in his mouth. That's the mental state you have to be in when you ride this horse. He's that sensitive. Wonderful. We talked about timing yesterday. Sit twice and go to canter on the third beat. Don't change your hands, though. I want his frame to stay the same. I want his neck to stay the same. Not bad. Hands up and together. You have to get over that habit of wanting to put your hands down when you canter your horses. Hands up and together. Up and together. Yes. Come on, lift them up. Right saddle seat. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Hands up and together. Don't fight with his mouth. Just lift the bits a little bit in his mouth and he'll get over his resistance. Better. Better. Transition back to trot. We did this with your mare this morning. You got her really nice in the neck and trot, and then you let it carry over to canter. I want you to do the same thing with him. Don't pull down on his mouth, Nadia. Don't pull down. There you go. There you go. Come on, touch your hands up and together. Like you are softly feeling his mouth. Softly, softly, softly. Good. There we go. Good. Good. Very good. The trot is getting more impulsion. I like it. See if you can make a transition to canter without pulling down on his mouth. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Much better. Much better. You're kind of anticipating that your horses are going to be disobedient in the canter part, and that's what makes you want to hold their heads down. Stop anticipating that. Both of your horses are going to be good in canter parts from now on. Very nice. Go large. Go large and let him canter a little bit. Hands up and together. Maria, have you got a round lead rope?
Yes.
Could you bring me one?
Yeah.
Sorry that I make you walk so much.
Good for me. She needs.
Yeah, you can eat more lunch that way. Hands up and together. Look here. Change to this. So. And get comfortable there so he can get comfortable there. You're too used to maintaining contact with your hands apart. You have to retrain yourself now. In the end, it will make you a much better rider if you can get your hands up and together. Now a transition to trot without your reins. Just stop sitting. Beautifully done. Look at that. And rising trot. That's a lot of trot to sit on. Rising trot. We'll get to the seat in a minute here. I said we'll get to your seat in a minute here, but rising trot after that transition because it's a lot of trot to sit on right now. Go ahead and change the rein. Hands up and together, not separating your hands. Excellent. Then you're going to come down here on this circle, and I have to say both of your horses are less comfortable bending left than they are right. Have you noticed that? Okay, so that's you, so we have to work through that a little bit. Go on the 20-meter circle, carry your left hand a little higher, and see if you can soften him against your left leg. Thank you for that. I don't need the latch, that's fine. Left hand a little higher, and you want to ride his rib cage to the outside of the circle. There you go. Without collapsing down in your left shoulder. That's better. Now, can you shorten your left rein and ride with your left rein shorter than your right without pulling more? See if you can do this. This is an exercise. Giving on the left rein is, yeah. Touch him with the left leg, get his ribs to the outside of the circle. Now you're getting somewhere. Good. When you're ready, go to canter, and do not try to hold his head down in the transition. His head will stay down if you don't interfere with him. Doesn't matter. Try again. Nice. Very good boy. Very good boy. He must be a Hanoverian. Is he? Or a thoroughbred? Excellent. 20-meter circle. I learned to ride dressage on a thoroughbred that looked just like him, actually. His name was Larkspur. Cool horse. And back to trot. No use of the rein. Ooh, that was a little abrupt. Yeah, you could have just slowly changed your body and probably gotten to that place. So hands forward and relax. Now just stop driving the canter. And yes, ma'am. That was an 8. Okay, go to walk now. Let him rest for a minute. We made him go a long time without a break. And then I want you to turn around and watch something. Just come this way so you can see it. This is something that can help anybody who's watching, actually, but it's going to help you a lot, I hope. Take a round rope, and it helps if you use a round pole, like a pipe or whatever. This is a square pole, but it will work too. It also helps if you have a tent like this that you can easily pull over, because you don't want to do that. And you take your feet shoulder width apart, you bend your knees, like as if you were sitting on a horse. You hold your round lead rope as if it were reins, okay? And then you practice moving your hands, changing the position of your hands, without allowing that rope to drop down. That is sensitive contact, okay? Now, if you're too rough with your hands, you'll either pull the tent over, or when you give on the rein, you'll drop it down. You don't want that, okay? You want your rope to stay at exactly the same level, and you want to say, well, Catherine's always complaining because I do this, so I want to be able to do that. And feel how elastic you can be in your hands and your arms when you change position. You need elasticity not only in this direction. Look, my rope is not dropping down. Do you see what kind of feel I have there? Amazing. Okay? You can put your hands down. You can put your hands up. You can cross them over. You can bounce them up and down. And the contact with the bit doesn't change. Okay? One thing we never want to do is this. That's very bad on the horse's mouth. So anybody can practice this. You can also practice posting. And do your hands stay in one spot, or do your hands go with you? You don't want your hands going with you. You can post like this. You can practice posting and crossing and not dropping them in the mouth. This is how you develop feeling for a horse's mouth. You need to do that trick. That's called my rope trick. I don't show it to everybody.
Aha, I got it on video too.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's go back to work, and while you're up there, practice a little bit the rope trick. Try to feel like, because I know that in your head you're not resistant to changing your hand position, but when you're up there you feel like, well, but if I change my hand position, my horse reacts. That's because you're not sensitive enough with your arm. You should be able to change your hand position without the horse reacting at all. You see, you can do it. It's a very light, soft feeling, and I think once you develop the feeling for it, you go, oh, crap, I can do that on any horse. It happened with me one winter in Michigan 40 years ago. It wasn't that long, but 30 years ago. It was minus 40 for 8 weeks. All I could do was walk my training horses for 8 weeks. And as you can imagine, it got really crazy because they got really crazy. But I spent a lot of time in a walk figuring out how to position and reposition my hands. And also, especially in the snaffle, how to reposition the rein on the bit ring and how it affected the horse. And you need to spend, like when you go home from this clinic, when you warm your horses up every day, spend 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, walking around, figuring out how their necks can stay relaxed, and you can move your hands all over the place and not affect the contact with the bit. You feel it already, don't you? You feel already the sensitivity in your eye. It already looks better. You're really following the motion of the walk there with your arm. Your hands are in motion, so is the horse, but your contact stays the same. And that is the key to between good hands and mediocre hands, or, God forbid, bad hands. We don't want those. Really great hands will feel the horse's mouth all the time, and the rider can change his arm position if he wants to, and it does not affect the horse's mouth. So lift your left hand up 6 inches, and keep exactly the same bend your left elbow and lift your left hand 6 inches, without changing the pressure on his mouth. And then drop it down. Now lift your right hand up 6 inches. That's a half a foot, I remind you. Put it up high, your right hand. Now drop it down. Now do the same with the left. And yes, brilliant. Now cross your hands over. Yeah, but watch him, because he shouldn't be going, oh shit, she's moving her reins. He should be going, well, she's moving her hands, but she's not actually moving the bit. She's not changing contact. You got it. Now you're getting there. This is how you develop independent hands from the seat. Excellent. Now you're getting there. You have to ride with that much elasticity and feeling in the arms and the hands, especially in your transitions, because that's where I see you get a little bit rigid, is in the transition. Good. Carry your hands a little higher. So when I say to you carry your hands a little higher, you should be able to bend those elbows and keep exactly the same contact on both reins. Aha.